to NFL Rank. This is our first video that's not a power rankings video. Today we're gonna talk about who we think is gonna make it all the way to Super Bowl 55 and win it all. We're each gonna take our turns, 10 minutes each. So I'm gonna start. So for the first game, I'm gonna talk about the Bills at the Colts. Or no, the Colts at the Bills. Sorry. Bills are 7-point favorite. No, I think 7-point favorites, and the over/under is 52 points. And they, as you all know, they finished the season blowing out the Miami Dolphins 56-26. And Josh Allen threw 3 touchdowns in 2 quarters, and he finished with a franchise record 45 total touchdowns in the season. And the Bills are going to have a limited amount of fans in this wild card game. But so for the Colts, they did beat the Jaguars, which, as expected, not much of a big accomplishment there. Jaguars were within 1 score of the final stanza, though. And they ended this. Indy finished the season 2-4 during the regular season. And I don't know if they could keep pace with the Bills, I think the Bills win a close one and move on to the divisional round. All right. So next is the Rams at the Seahawks. So John Wolford led the playoff clinching Rams to a win over the Cardinals on Sunday. But there's a lot of room for concern right now. Will Jared Goff even start in the wild card round against a division rival? Will it even matter? He suffered a fractured thumb. Who knows if he'll be at 100%? It's not a great situation for Sean McVay. They lost 20-9 in Seattle. At Seattle. Yeah, against Seattle in Week 16. Who knows if the game will be closer this second time around, or third time around, actually. And the Seahawks are climbing back up at the right time. And if the game is gonna be close, because the Rams are keeping it close. But I don't know. I don't really trust Goff right now. I trust Russell Wilson more than Jared Goff. So the Seahawks are gonna pull that one out. Next, you have the Buccaneers at the football team. Yeah, the Buccaneers. It looked like they're going to have an easy path to the divisional round, at least playing the NFC least winner. But Washington actually has the first-ranked defense, if I'm not mistaken. I switch it up. But who knows if that's going to make much of a difference. Tom Brady, he just destroys bad teams. And I don't see the offense doing much. Alex Smith, the leg is still not 100%. And yeah, I'd like to see Washington win this game. It would be really crazy, but there's no way I could pick them right now, the way the Buccaneers are playing. So I think the Buccaneers win by like 2 scores. Next, we have our revenge game, the Ravens and the Titans. So Derrick Henry went over 2,000 yards this season, as we all know. And Titans defense is kind of concerning. They gave up 29 second half points to the Houston Texans, who aren't even that good. And they yielded 78 points over the past 2 games. Not so good. The Ravens, after their COVID issues were resolved, had 5 consecutive wins. And obviously, even with their poor defense, Henry could keep this game close. But this time around, I think the Ravens finally do it and beat their kryptonite in the Tennessee Titans and advance to the next round. Next, we have the Saints and the Bears. So the Bears are lucky to make the playoffs, in my opinion. They lost. Win or lose, it was most likely they were still going to make the playoffs because they controlled their own destiny. But went up against the Saints, and everybody's saying Drew Brees might be ready to retire after the season, but they said that the season before too, so I don't know. But Bears head coach Matt Nagy somehow led the team to the playoffs after losing 6 games in a row early in the season. Either way, this is still a big mismatch for the Bears. The Saints are trending upwards, and I think regardless if guys like Kamara or Michael Thomas are playing, the Saints win this pretty easily and advance to the next round. And you have Browns at Steelers. I'm going for a bit of an upset here. I'm gonna pick the Browns because dealing with the COVID-19 outbreak threatened to derail their season, and they nearly beat, which was the Steelers practice squad, and clinched their first playoff berth since 2002. And yeah, Ben Roethlisberger wasn't playing, but I think it's gonna be different this time around. This isn't the same 11-0 Steelers team. They finished the season losing 4 of their last 5 games, and I feel like there's really hope for the Browns here. So I think the Browns will advance in the wild card round. And now the next matchup. So the divisional round is set up now. And now we have Chiefs against Cleveland, Buffalo against Baltimore, and Tampa Bay against Green Bay, and Seattle at New Orleans. So I'm gonna start with the Browns and the Chiefs. I'm not betting against Mahomes. The Chiefs are advancing in that one. I think it was a good ride for the Browns, making the playoffs for the first time in a long time. But Mahomes is something special, and I think there's only a couple of teams in the AFC that could dethrone the Chiefs, and I don't think the Browns are one of them. Next, the Ravens and the Bills. Now, I'm gonna pick the Bills. Both these teams are coming really hot into the playoffs, but I think the Bills are just slightly better right now. The duel between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs is, something great, and the Ravens have a good running game, obviously, with Lamar Jackson. But I think Josh Allen is the more well-rounded quarterback, so I'm picking Buffalo. Next, we have Green Bay and Tampa Bay. Now, this one is actually a hard one to pick because Tampa Bay did destroy them early on in the season, but that was in Tampa Bay, where all the players are familiar with the nice warm Florida weather, right? This game is going to be in Lambeau, where it's super cold and snowy, and I think there's only one guy on the Bucs that is used to that type of weather, and that's Tom Brady. So I think the Packers will win this game, and if the Bucs do lose, I don't think it'll be because of Tom Brady, because he's used to this type of stuff. But everyone else on that team, I'm not so sure. So yeah, Green Bay, and then Seattle at New Orleans. This is a matchup I don't think we ever really got to. Did we ever see this in the playoffs? I'm not sure, but Drew Brees against Russell Wilson should be an exciting one. The Saints, I think, are the more well-rounded team, and Drew Brees realizing this might be his last ride yet again. He's gonna really need to get this done. And sadly for the Seahawks, have to wait till next year. And yep, the Saints are advancing, in my opinion. So yeah, now I got the top 2 seeds in the championship round. I got the Bills and the Chiefs and the Saints and the Packers. Now, me being a Bills fan, like, you think I want to pick the Bills to win, right? But I don't know, man. I don't want to bet against Mahomes, and I kind of want to see a team win it back to back. It's been a while since we saw that, so I'm gonna pick the Chiefs here, and what I think is gonna be a very high scoring game. Probably gonna put up like at least 30 points each, in my opinion. And then we have Drew Brees against Aaron Rodgers. Should be a great one. Who's gonna advance and possibly get the second Super Bowl? I think, you know, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams is too good of a combo. And I think they're going to make it past the Saints, which would be in what I think would be a close one. But I think Drew Brees falls short this year. So now we have the State Farm Bowl and the Chiefs against the Packers. Now, we have the MVP and the runner-up with Aaron Rodgers against Patrick Mahomes. I think the Chiefs have more weapons overall, but Packers have the best weapon. So that makes me think that the Chiefs are the more well-rounded team. I feel like, I don't know, this one could really go either way, but the Chiefs have been, I feel like they're gonna like unleash something different in the playoffs. Maybe they've been barely beating teams in the regular season because they've just been going easy on everybody. So yeah, I'm gonna pick the Chiefs here, in what should be a great game. And that's my picks. There you go. Now it's my partner's turn.
Whoa. It's my turn to pick.
Yep.
Now, I have to make this last 10 minutes. And
Was mine 10 minutes?
what?
Was mine longer than 10 minutes?
Yeah, no, it was 10 minutes. And I wouldn't be so confident if my girl asked me to do this in bed, but for this sort of task, I feel confident I can make it last 10 minutes.
Okay.
So, here we go. First round, AFC wild card. We got Titans and the Ravens on this top left. Now, this is a rematch from last year, and on the one hand, you've got Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, who have looked better than ever lately, back to their 14-2 form from last year. And on the other, you have King Henry and that stacked Titans offense that's just been on fire in recent weeks, and Derrick Henry just eclipsed 2,000 yards. So it's a tough one to choose, but I think I'm going to have to go with the Ravens given how unstoppable they've looked. Next, Steelers, Browns. I think my grandma could beat the Steelers, but having said that, maybe the Browns aren't as good as my grandma. I will still go with the Browns, though. Next, Bills, Colts. Okay, so Josh Allen has looked good. However, they did lose in the first round last year, and they don't have very much playoff experience. I have been known to call Phillip Rivers a choker, which, of course, he is. But he does have 7 kids, so I don't know. I think he's going to want to make his kids proud, and I think he's going to try to lead the Colts to a playoff victory. However, can't discount the fact that the Bills have arguably the best offense in football. Having said that, this is a team that's inexperienced. Diggs hasn't made it far. Josh Allen hasn't made it past the first round. So I'm going to go with the upset pick, go with the Indianapolis Colts here. Well, that's a big shocker. Next, we have the Bucks and the Washington football team. Chase Young said he wants Tom Brady. He said he's looking forward to it. He said he wants all of them. Okay, he's relishing the opportunity. Well, guess what, Chase Young? You're not going to be relishing the opportunity after Brady does his work on you. You just gave him more fuel. You gave the GOAT more fuel. Tom Brady's going to show why he's everyone's daddy. He's going to take them to the next round. Seahawks Rams. Okay, the Rams. Oh, the Rams are a joke. Seahawks have won 4 straight games. They're 7-1 at home. You can pretty much write this one in the books. I'd bet my entire house on this game if I had one. And Russell Wilson has lost his stake in the MVP race, but he hasn't lost his stake in the Super Bowl quite yet. So I'm going with the Seahawks on this one. Next, we got the Saints Bears. So Saints Bears is an interesting one. I think Breeze was washed up, and if they're going to win this game, it's going to be because of the plus defense and a phenomenal running back in Alvin Kamara. Does he play this weekend? I don't know. But regardless, I don't think the Bears could really beat any of the teams in this field right now. So I'm going to go with the Saints. Now, if you look at the AFC, it looks like kind of a cakewalk for the Chiefs and the Ravens to go to the AFC Conference Championship. However, nay not seems. So Chiefs Colts, yeah, I'll give you this. The Chiefs have been losing a lot of, or they've been winning a lot of games by very close margins in recent weeks. But they are a different team in the playoffs. Mahomes brings up to a different gear. So I'm going to have to go with the Chiefs here, although I really do like Rivers, and I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to go to overtime. Okay, they're going to shock some people. I'm going with the Chiefs. Now, Ravens, Browns. The Brownies are a good little team. They're solid. And I think Baker Mayfield's shown that he's the real deal. He's shown that he can take his team to places they've never been, which I guess isn't that hard when the only place this team's been has been the bottom for year after year after year after year. So I'm going to go with, just kidding, not the Ravens. I'm going with the Browns. I think Baker Mayfield is the truth, and he's going to show that against the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. He was the first overall pick for a reason, and not Lamar Jackson, because he is a true quarterback who can lead his team to winning games. Although I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a stand-up performance. He's a great quarterback. This just isn't his year. Next, we got the Packers and the Bucks. And while a lot of people will say the Packers will blow this team out, Brady has been a different animal, okay, in the past couple weeks. In fact, he hasn't been an animal. He's been a manimal, okay? He's been a man of an animal. And he is going to continue his dominance over other teams in the playoffs. And I don't care if he's playing in the snow against Aaron Rodgers, because guess what? Tom Brady lives in the snow. He breathes in the snow. Okay, he eats the snow. He eats it up. Okay, he loves the snow. And I love him for loving the snow. I love this team. I think Mike Evans will be back by the divisional round. I got to give this one to Brady and the Buccaneers. Next, we got Saints and Seahawks. This is going to be a close game. This is going to be a fun matchup. It's going to be an interesting game. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Now, we got Breeze and Wilson. Who's been the better quarterback lately? I don't know, because Breeze has been hurt and Wilson's play has declined. Having said that, the Seahawks are on a bit of a hot streak, and I think they're going to be tough to take down with that offense firing on all cylinders and that defense stepping up their game in recent weeks. And for me, that just tells me they're going to shut the Saints down. I think they can shut Alvin Kamara down, and although their offense may not produce against the Saints defense, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and they are going to beat the Saints by a score, bringing them to the NFC Conference Championship. Next, we got the Chiefs and the Brownies. Okay, now the Brownies they're good. They beat the Steelers, they beat the Ravens, they've wiped out their division. But little did they know they have to go up against Mahomes, who is the best player in the league right now, not named Tom Brady. So I don't think Baker Mayfield's quite ready for the challenge, especially after Donovan Peoples-Jones got his lights knocked out of him last week. I don't think they have the pieces to compete with the Chiefs and all they have to offer on offense and defense. Travis Kelce's been known to produce in the big games. Tyreek Hill's going to open up the field huge for them. I don't think this Browns defense can stop the Chiefs. and I don't think Baker Mayfield's going to be able to beat Mahomes in a shooting match, which I think this will be in the AFC Conference Championship. So I'm going with the Chiefs. Now in the NFC Conference Championship, we got an interesting matchup. We got the Bucs and the Seahawks. This is a rematch for quarterbacks of the Super Bowls between the Seahawks and the Patriots both times. And one thing that I know about Russell Wilson is I know his father. And I know his father goes by the name of Tom Brady. And I'm not trying to like hug on Tom Brady's nuts or anything, but I would if I could, by the way. But I think that Brady, I think he's got enough juice still to take out Russell Wilson all these years later. I think he's got a better offense than the Seahawks. If we break it down, he's a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. They have a better running game. Ronald Jones is better than Chris Carson. Of course, they have better receivers. I mean, Mike Evans, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, that's better than DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, which admittedly is a strong receiver core. And I think the defense on the Bucs with Jason Pierre-Paul and Devin Bush, it is Devin White, is better than the Seahawks defense, which, to be honest, is lackluster in terms of names. So I'm going to have to go with the Bucs here and send them off to the Super Bowl because that's just the sort of thing Brady likes to do. And this is the Super Bowl here. We got the Chiefs against the Bucs. Basically, the future Tom Brady against the present Patrick Mahomes. And yes, I didn't say that incorrectly. I think Mahomes is a fad, and Brady's here to stay until he's 50. So this is going to be an interesting matchup for sure. You got two loaded offenses. It's going to be a high-scoring game. It's going to be a fiery game, if I may say so myself, because Brady hasn't come up against this kind of quarterback in the Super Bowl. Sure, he's faced Eli Manning. Sure, he's faced Matt Ryan. Those guys aren't Mahomes, okay? Not by a long shot. And so this is going to be a tough game for him. But with the kind of offense he's surrounded himself with, I have no utter doubt that Brady will be able to outscore the Chiefs in just an absolute shootout. I predict 43-33 in favor of the Buccaneers, and Brady brings home his 7th championship and brings it home to the family, brings it home to Giselle. He pops the champagne. I'll be popping it with him from home. I just have no doubt that this is Brady's year. He's been shown it in recent weeks. He's going to continue to show it in the playoffs.
All right. Wow. So, we both had the same AFC representative, at least the Chiefs, and
yeah,
you're clearly a Brady lover here. So you chose the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, I love Brady. Love him with all my heart.
I guess so. Despite the fact that it's a team sport and it's not just Tom Brady, but I get it.
But guess what? Tom Brady's teams always come out on top. So I'm gonna.
Not last year, but
well, last year, admittedly, but there were some factors that caused it, namely Tom Brady's dying relationship with Bill Belichick, who is shown he's not the same kind of coach without an elite quarterback in his presence, as evidenced by their 7-9 record this season for the first time in over a decade.
Yeah, they also had a lot of players opt out too. That's also true.
A lot of players off, but I think their 7-9 record is more attributable to Tom Brady than the loss of Patrick Chung and Dante Hightower. I think that has more of a factor in their sub 500 record. Also has to do with Cam Newton being arguably the worst quarterback in football this year, throwing 5 passing touchdowns and 10 picks before this game in Week 17. I think that has something to do with it as well. I think it just goes to show how great a quarterback Tom Brady was and how he was the reason for all those Super Bowl victories.
All right. I guess so. Anyway, those are our playoff picks. I had Chiefs Packers. You had Chiefs Bucks.
I think
Chiefs
those are both great matchups. Packers would be great to see.
Yep. Either way, Mahomes. We have Mahomes going up against the past GOATs, and hold on, let me rephrase that. I have Mahomes going up against the best of all time. You have Mahomes going up against the greats. Mahomes is looking like it's Mahomes' time, but only the future will tell. That's why I said past.
Yeah, no, right now I think he's the GOAT right now. Like, no, like Brady's the GOAT right now, but I'd say Mahomes is the present and Brady's the future because Brady, he's going to play till he's 50, and Mahomes may not be the best quarterback for the
He said
next 5
45.
years.
Yeah, but all right. He said he played till he was 45. He didn't say 50.
I know he said he'd play till he's 45, but I'm sure he didn't expect to throw 4,500 yards at the age of 43. That's got to change things, right? Like that's got to change the whole outlook for his career. I mean, being the top of the game at 43, he doesn't want to retire in 2 years anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Brady clearly found the fountain of youth, man. You know, it'd be nice if you could share that with, guys like Drew Brees or even Peyton Manning. But
Yeah, those guys are probably wishing they could be playing the way Tom Brady's playing at age 43. But nevertheless.
All right, well, I guess all there's to say now is let's see what happens. So
see what happens. It's gonna be a great playoffs. Thanks so much to our subscribers for watching. If you're not subscribed, please leave and never come back because I don't want you here. And I'm sure neither does Amari. So I'm not kidding.
That's not true. Share the video with your friends. Don't listen to this guy.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yeah. All right. Bye.